सीधे लिए चलते हैं, इसरो के चेयरमैन इस वक्त संबोधित कर रहे हैं, सीधे चलते हैं.
Orbiter is still there. Orbiter is orbital.
That is what we were saying in response to the earlier what you said.
See, the orbiter had scientific experiments last time. This time it doesn't have scientific experiment, but we added one towards the last time. So it doesn't have a function of being in orbit and do any active function. That's why we don't call it orbiter. And it doesn't have a relay function as we have envisaged last time for communication. So our Chandrayaan 2 orbiter is going to do that function. So in view of this, there is no need of really an orbiter. We need only a propulsion module to reach up to the moon. Hence, there is the need of. So I believe your confusion on that topic is over.
The focus this time is on in situ experiments on the surface of moon. And therefore, the agenda is set like that.
Agenda is yes, different. You have to use mic.
Sir, I am Srinivas from ABP News. As I have seen the confidence on you people, I thought to give you congratulations for now only for 23rd of August. It seems that we are going to land softly this time.
Okay, let us all clap.
You see, if you recall my words, I said confidence they have inherited as legacy. If you see the pictures of Sarabhai carrying launcher vehicle on the carriage of a bicycle with no resource available, and people like you and me singing nursery rhymes sitting home, Chanda Mama Dur ke, and USA preparing to land on the surface of the moon. This is early 60s. They are already preparing. Apollo series have started. So the huge lot of confidence is there, but what is appreciable is that it is not a misplaced confidence. The confidence coming out of substance and the acumen that is inherent to our Indian talent.
Sir, because now, I am going a little further. Just 2 days before, I have seen a tweet of ISRO where we have invited private players for TOT, transport technology. What exactly it is?
Can I ask our in-space chairman, Dr. Pavan Kumar Goyal?
He's there. You can from there itself.
Can you answer?
No, he's saying the transfer technology, Goenka. Pavan, Mr. Pavan, about saying the startups in the transfer technology, how would you accommodate them? That's what he was asking.
See, ISRO has a treasure of technologies. And as these startups are coming up, it makes a lot of sense for them to not redevelop the technologies. ISRO can transfer technologies to startups, and startups will take it and take it forward. And ISRO right now is very aggressively identifying technologies that they will transfer. And in space is only facilitating the technology transfer. All the technologies will be coming from ISRO.
Okay, yeah.
For space. In this mission in Chandrayaan, what were the kind of...
The space is open for private sector.
So what are the kind of key developments that the private sector industries have contributed for this mission? Can you name some critical components that were provided by them or some companies that were invaluable to this mission?
If I start listing, it will be too huge.
Just a few, sir, just a few.
Okay, the first thing to say is in the rocket which took place, that LVM-3 rocket, 85% of the money spent on the rocket is in industry. Okay, only the value of the rocket, just 15% of the work was done only within ISRO. This is first point. So to corroborate it, the entire materials, the entire manufacturing, everything that you are seeing outside the rocket, also inside the rocket, is also coming from industry. Only the processing part, final processing part, quality control, the mission design, the final operations only done by ISRO. Another thing is there are industries now working within ISRO's facilities now. It's called, our mission director used the word GOCO, government-owned company operated mode. There are many facilities operating to produce critical systems inside. Tomorrow they will go out and do it on their own. They are supplying. For example, in the RF systems that is there in this launch vehicle, 8 out of the 9 systems in this rocket is produced in private industries in GOCO mode. And many things in that are done in such facilities. So, industry's contribution is very enormous. Coming to the Chandrayaan 3 also, the hardwares which are visibly there many of them are from industries, but the industry contribution in satellites are actually lower, not as much as a rocket today.
So my question is, what is the cost of this project, and while many developed countries at the moment dominate this particular space? Yeah, I'm on your right, sir.
Where?
I'm on your right.
Go ahead.
Okay. My question is, what's the cost of this
Okay.
project? And number two, why many developed countries dominate this particular space technology and expertise?
No, I think the cost, okay, you have a second part. As far as the cost is concerned, I think by now it's been quite often reiterated, it is of 600 crore or so, slightly more than that, which is not much considering the kind of stake and prestige and the outcomes involved in this mission.
How important is this for India to develop expertise in this area when many would argue the same funds will be utilized for other key areas like poverty alleviation?
No, I think your question of course is well taken, because it might be occurring to many minds, but it could be answered in two parts. I think again the credit goes to this last 9 years of the Modi regime. We are now no longer confined to only launching of rockets. Space technology has virtually entered every Indian household, every sectoral development, whether it's the construction of the rail tracks, smart cities, roads, buildings, telemedicine, tele-education. Some of your most ambitious and successful success stories are based on space technology. Like for example, the Swamitva program, which is a very ambitious program, unique of its kind in the world, where you are doing the mapping of the farms and the land areas, demarcation. Secondly, the COVID, the vaccination, the vaccine transportation, etc., was guarded by the drones and so that is one part, immediately. Now, the other part is how would it help a citizen by, going up to the moon. You see, India now is no longer the India of what it was about 10 years back. The world looks up to us to take a lead. And that has also happened because earlier on, the world did not take us seriously as far as the, some of the more progressive concerns are concerned, like the concerns related to climate change, concerns related to energy. They thought we were all beset with our own problems of droughts and floods, and we didn't have the capacity to look beyond. But it was Prime Minister Modi who in COP26 made the pledge that we would be net zero by 2070. So now we are actually contributing hugely to the well-being of the mankind as a whole. So we have become a part of the global world, and we have assumed responsibility which is of a much larger nature, which in the process will not only give us scientific supremacy, but also enable us to play a role both for bringing in ease of living for our own citizens as well as citizens of the world as a whole, in keeping with the mantra that Prime Minister gave, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is also the G20 theme. So I think there's a whole lot, and now in a kind of ecosystem that we live in, we cannot be isolating ourselves. If the rest of the world starts moving to the moon, we cannot delay our march. And the other part is that now we are at par. We are at par with the countries like USA. It's no longer that they would adopt a technology, apply it, popularize it, and then we adopt it, as we did in case of television or computer. Now we are at the same step of the ladder.
No, thank you. What we will do is we will have...
He says one question.
सीधा प्रसारण आप देख रहे थे श्रीहरिकोटा से, आंध्र प्रदेश के श्रीहरिकोटा से, जहां पर कि इसरो के चेयरमैन एस